goodness. Of course I find you sleeping in here.
Larry, how much money do you think is in here?
I don't know, it kind of fluctuates like the stock market, but recently it's just been going like this.
Maybe that's 10 million on the low end.
I mean, I could see that. You know, the thing is, you shift a couple cars, dude, and then it goes up like $1 million or two, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, the last time we were here, a real Hako wasn't here, dude.
Yeah, yep.
A real Hako and like a short nose one too. So yeah, this is it, dude. Which one do you want to sleep in tonight? I love that it's like GTR, Civic. GTR. You know, like
it's insane, dude.
This is so crazy, man.
Fucking
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. M-Spec Ner. This is it, right? This is the top end besides the Z-Tune.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. You know, eventually they'll probably have a Z-Tune in here.
Oh,
that'll be the king, dude.
At some point, yeah.
That's the king.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of people asked in the last video I filmed here, why is it that there's no stackers? Mm-hmm. People forget that this is Japan and there's literally earthquakes every single day.
Yes.
So stackers, not a good idea here. Yeah.
Welcome to our secret warehouse located somewhere in Japan.
Somewhere in Japan.
Somewhere in Japan.
This is also cool for me, is all the stock wheels.
Oh yeah, we have a bunch of stock parts we sourced throughout the entire years.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of stock R34 wheels that are worth a lot more now.
Yeah, and then all OEM R33 wheels as well.
All right, Masa. So
Yes.
last time I was here, I published a video and we got a lot of hate. We got a lot of inquiries, but you know, we also got a lot of interest. A lot of people were saying that it's honestly unfair. They think that Toprank is essentially holding all these to jack up the prices. And then as soon as they almost become legal, or as soon as they hit the peak in prices, then Toprank's gonna start selling them. That's the complete not truth at all. What people don't understand is every single one of these cars is sold.
Yes.
And every one of these cars are here for storage.
Yes.
People are actually paying you guys to take care of the cars, to store them here.
Yes.
Once they get legal, then they'll import them.
Yes.
So the money has already been exchanged, and it could have been 5 years, 4 years, 3 years ago.
Yes. Some owners have a car that bought in early 2018, and some of the cars were keeping it until 2002 because the person who bought it was a B-Spec 2002 final year model car. So he's gonna keep it for 6-7 years, and some people still keep it in this warehouse till this day.
But you know, it's not all bad, because the point is now you guys are offering this special service to everybody who actually wants to drive their Japan delivery car in Japan. The catch is they have to buy it from you guys.
Yes.
And the whole thing is there is a process, right? So from what Yaska has told me, it's about $6,000 a year for something like my GTR. But of course, it's a scale in price because it's also a scale for insurance reasons.
Yes.
But $6,000 a year is if you drive 1 kilometer or if you drive 10,000 kilometers.
Yes.
If you drive 1 day, or for somehow if you have a visa here, you drive
Every day.
every day.
Yeah.
For the year. Which, you know, you take it for what it is. It's so special, it's so rare, because technically it's not possible for somebody like myself to come on my own and buy a car from some dealership lot and actually drive it without a Japanese driver's license, and also without proper Japanese insurance.
And residence. That's the most important part, because you need to, in Japan, in order to register a car, you need to let the government know that where your car is parked at. that's why in order to get that permit, you gotta have to have some sort of paperwork that's you live in Japan in that specific house, garage, wherever. And since you guys are mainly based in stateside, you guys cannot, live here basically. So that's why we're offering us to let you guys use your car as a quote-unquote rental, so that you guys have no lesser hassle to go through, registering a car and putting in the insurance that you basically use every single day.
Yeah, and then on top of that, another thing that they help set up that I think is basically impossible to set up for somebody like myself is the ETC card.
Yes.
Right? So that probably has a lot to do with the address that it's linked to also.
Yes.
So the ETC card, for those of you guys who don't know, it is the highway card, the way you pay for tolls. And if you do not have that, it's honestly almost impossible to drive your car everywhere in Japan, because some of the toll booths in Japan,
they only accept ETCs.
yes, they only accept electronic cards. They don't actually accept cash because there's no one there to actually man the booth. I would say 90% are ones where you can actually pay cash, but boy, does it slow you down, especially in traffic, and especially when you're trying to get from one point to the other. It slows you down so much, and then you have to fumble with change and everything. And another problem is the toll booths are very often. It's like, it almost feels like when I'm driving here in Japan,
yes,
it's one toll booth every 10, 20 kilometers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So another thing is the storage fees, right? So people are paying you guys to store their cars, whether it be a S15 or we have a EK9 Honda Civic here, or a GTR like a M Specner or whatever. The storage fees are all the same. It's $400 for inside storage, something similar to this.
Yes.
And it's $250 for outside storage.
Yes.
And of course, outside storage is covered, and it is still safe. Secure lot with security guard and cameras and all that stuff.
Yes, we have a special security that's not only inside this warehouse, but also we have a security system that is covering all the outside storage space as well. So we always been protected with all the security devices.
And this is not the only warehouse too. There's plenty of warehouses that Toprank has in Japan,
yes,
all over the place.
Yes.
And also, you guys source cars from all over Japan. It's not just the Tokyo area.
No. We source cars from all over the country inside Japan. Also, we have this. We always source cars from a direct consumer. So some of the cars, what's been listed here, are not from auctions. We directly source from the owner. So which means that you know the history of the cars more, not just from the auction sheet. We know the owner, we met the owner, we talked to the owner, how the car been kept and how he's been using, so that whenever we buy those cars and sell it to you guys, like USA consumers or whatever, we can tell you more about the history and story about that car.
So my car was actually an auction car.
Yes.
And I saw the grade, I saw the markings, I saw all the notes in Japanese of what's wrong with my car. But I also saw very, very detailed pictures inside, outside, underneath the car, because I bought my car sight unseen. And up until the point of me driving my car just 20 days ago, when I picked it up from here for the first time, I've only driven 2 R34 GTRs.
Really?
Right? So I've driven one in the UK, which was crazy, like 600 horsepower.
Oh.
And then I drove Charles Wong's insane sequential car
one.
that I think has 800 horsepower or something like that. So
Yes.
I actually had no reference to a stock vehicle until I got in my own car. And one of the things that really surprised me was that I looked at the auction pictures, and then of course I looked at the pictures after you guys have gone through it.
Yes.
So many things were changed, so many things were fixed. since the auction. And that's really surprising for me, and that's great.
Thank you very much.
Part of it is because obviously you guys are selling a premium product. The car was not cheap, and it shouldn't be cheap. Honestly, part of it is because it's so sought after, especially something like Bayside Blue. The white ones, silver ones, I think the black ones there was more production, so you potentially could get a better deal with them. And you can also potentially get a better deal with one that had prior accident damage. And I actually told Masa's boss, Yaska, that I wanted an accident damage car, because I actually came here back in May of last year, and I looked at some of the cars and they had accident damage, and they were fixed really well. Like, the repair was basically seamless. You couldn't actually tell. But then Yaska, you know, he knows me. He knows that I love taking care of my cars. I love to make sure that they're as clean and as perfect as possible, because I'm very prideful of my vehicles. And, you know, I'm lucky in that I am able to work hard enough to be able to enjoy these cars. So he's like, you know what, we'll find you one with a clean title, no accident damage, nothing. And you'll just have to restore certain things, including, I think some of the paint is a little faded, but that's not a problem. You know, that's a thing that we can tackle over time.
Yes.
If it's prior accident damage, you guys fully disclose it.
Yes.
Through and through.
Yes.
So then, what else? Like, what is the process for most people? Like, let's say if somebody were to want to buy a car from the US, what do they do? Do they just call you, or do they just check the website, or?
Yeah, so we can do a bunch of ways, but most people contact through our email inquiries and also our Instagrams. Japan side is called a Toprank Global, and USA side is Toprank Importers. For those of people who live in the USA want to get an inquiry for the JDM cars, please go to Toprank Importers, and they will our sales team Brian will help you out. For those of people who are outside USA, for instance, Canada, Mexico, and like UK, New Zealand, Australia, please go through our Toprank Global website, Instagram, and our Toprank Global's email, and we will help you guys out.
Yeah, because the US side, Top Rank USA, or Top Rank Importers, based in USA, they are in Southern California, and when you actually go to their website, or when you actually reach out to them, it's not just the US inventory that you can purchase. You can actually purchase cars in Japan.
Yes, we have a Japan inventory. We share inventory as well.
Yeah, and that's the important thing, right? Because there's so many cars that they may not have in inventory. They have a select few cars that they think will sell well in the US market that they actually preemptively import to the US, assuming whatever, they're just gonna have it on their lot. So if somebody wants a quick buy, they can just do that. But if you want to look for a car, or if you want to look at the Japan inventory, they can also help you with that. And then they can also help you with the logistics of shipping it to the US, which port, this, that, and the other, and all that. So I'm trying to think, what's another common misconception when it comes to what you guys do?
Oh, so a lot of people think that we hide our great cars, or we just don't disclose that information. That is completely false. Like as Larry said, like we always disclose our information about the cars in general. And also, not only when we buy cars, for instance, from auctions and stuff, we have our division that inspects cars in depth. I'm talking auction people only look for the frame damages, but they cannot look in depth to the rust or hidden damages that is barely visible from just the 5-minute inspections. And we can find that out, and we will point out, and then once we think that those cars are not eligible enough to post, we always let it go, even like we always let it go and not sell to consumers.
Yeah, so then also another thing is, a lot of you guys are probably wondering like, oh, of course Larry gets the best treatment, you know, or Dustin or the other people that Top Rank works with. we get the same treatment as everyone else. And part of it is that we're buying a car that's sight unseen and it's a lot of money. You know, I actually asked Toprank to send me pictures of a leak down compression test on that car because, you know, I just want to make sure that it's in healthy condition. The RB's known to be not super reliable. It's a great motor, but there's a lot of problems with them.
It can be have a lot of problems upcoming, and if it's the car's never been kept well, then they will likely to show some of the problems as well.
Yeah, and do you guys send people videos of the cars running?
Yes, we do. If you guys wanted to have more information about the car, our sales department, and by the way, I'm filming the walk around, and I'm filming the engine startup and all these stuff, so yeah.
So then some of the owners here that have kept their cars here for a long time and they've never seen them, and some of the owners actually were here on this trip.
Yes.
You know, since the lockdown, they haven't been able to come to Japan for potentially 3 or more years.
Yeah.
It's a thing where I've heard that you guys actually start the cars
Yes.
periodically
Yes.
and also film it.
Yes.
And then send it to the owner.
Yes, so we do this monthly startup video where we film the startup sequence. Also, we film the engine bay. So like for instance, R34s, you know, the struts get, you know, rusted and corroded. So we always show that so to make sure that owners are feel satisfied, not only satisfied, but also feel like the current condition of the cars. So that's what we do on monthly basis.
Yeah, so you're basically proving that it runs, proving that nobody's taking parts off of it
Nope.
or anything like that.
Nope.
Proving that it's also indoor storage, the rust isn't getting worse or appearing at all. There's so many things that that accomplishes, but it's good to start a car every so often just to make sure everything's all lubed up.
Yes.
And it warms up to temperature and everything like that. And if there's some leaks that will happen, it will happen, you know, from it sitting. And
Yeah.
when you start it up, like for example, we pretty much only drive my FJ once every year, or 2 times or 3 times a year, depending on how many off-road races we actually chase. This year, when we started it for the Baja 1000, it leaked fuel right away. It just shot fuel out of where it was picking it up out of the fuel tank. And part of it is because it's just been sitting since King of the Hammers last year.
Oh.
So, you know, stuff like that, it happens. But if you maintain the car correctly, start it and let it warm up, you know, that stuff will show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do that we do the monthly startup so that not only we just, you know, let the car sit and just, you know, die down, but also we will start up so that it can, you know, lube the engine, and it will make the, you know, at least cars in as good condition as can get. Also, not only we just start it off when we turn it off, we always start it off and let the car idle for about 20 to 30 minutes so that, you know, all these, you know, cars will get warmed up, the engine and stuff. So,
Also, you're essentially going through the gas.
Yes, exactly.
The gas, according to a lot of people, especially in Japan, when there's no ethanol in the gas, it'll last about 3 years, right? So then if you're constantly running it up and you're using it up, then you won't have a problem with old gas in there.
Yes.
Are there any interesting cars that we should talk about in here? Something rare, something cool?
So we have some of the cars. For instance, that is a very rare, genuine M-spec.
How many M-specs are there here?
Well, we have only one that is a real M-spec in the paint finish called a silica brass. I think they only made it about like 169 or something, and this is one of them. And yeah, the condition wise, and actually we bought this straight from the original owner. And fun fact, this previous owner was a guy in charge of marketing for Nissan Skyline GTR R34 generation M-spec. He was a head marketing of that, and we fortunate enough to purchase a car from him directly, and he has all documents. He took this car to a dealer, and all we have is his service records and everything. So this car is in good hands of a new owner.
Whoa, this is a Midnight Purple 2.
Yes, this is a Midnight Purple 2 car.
Oh, very early production, number 721.
Yes.
So this one, I'm assuming, is probably just getting ready to export.
Yes, we're doing the show and display paperwork right now, and this car will be going to USA very shortly.
Yeah, because they only made a couple of these. I think, what, 250 or something?
300 cars to be exact.
300, okay.
And the cars that be eligible to export is basically a V-spec Midnight Purple 2, not normal base model Midnight Purple 2. So, and this one is a V-spec, and I cannot tell you exact amount of cars that it's been in V-spec in this color, but you know, obviously they only made 300 cars. There will be half of that.
Yeah, it's very rare. So then this one has a Z-Tune hood, Z-Tune bumper, and it also has Z-Tune fenders.
Yes, so basically it's a Z-Tune and Midnight Purple 2 color.
Right, super cool. I love that.
Yeah. And one of my favorite cars in storage is the car has a very unique engine inside. Let me show you.
So one of the things I wanted to point out, that Honda Civic right there, is it's not just all Skylines. If you pay your fee to park inside, it doesn't matter if you have a Civic, it doesn't matter if you have a Stagia, it doesn't matter if you have a S15, it's going to be parked in a storage unit like this.
Yeah, so one of my favorite cars is inside storage is actually this M-Spec Nerf. Well, from the glance of it, it looks like a M-Spec with a Z-Tune bumper and a fender, but the engine is very unique. It has a Nismo Nerf Sport engine. So the Nerf Sport engine is quite unique. It's basically only available for Nerfs in a certain period of time. And basically what the Nismo did was the Omori factory did a full overhaul to your Nerf cars, and basically the treatment was close to R1 race engine concept, as close as it gets. So N1 turbos, different ECU, different camshafts, all the full balanced engine bay, engine internals. And yes, this car was done in 08, back in 2008.
Is this still a 2.6 liter then?
Yes, it's still a 2.6 liter, but like fully redone engine.
This is really cool. I couldn't imagine how much this was worth.
Oh, we bought this car around, I think, I remember it was before I joined Toprank, so it was late 2019, and the owner paid a lot of money on it. I cannot disclose how much he paid, obviously, but what I've heard, I was just blown away that how much this car was worth.
Right. I'm wondering how much this is worth now, though, because this is, well, we're probably, I mean, it's
Yeah,
these all pretty much start at 6 figures. I think every Skyline, unless it has serious damage, they're pretty much 6 figures and up. But this, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, I guess.
This is, you know what you call a give me a blank check and I'll write the number, and you will be just surprised by how much the number it will be.
All right.
That kind of car.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Fun fact, people think that M-Spec Nerfs only came in Millennium Jade, or you know, M-Spec Nerfs can have Millennium Jade, but actually Millennium Jade was available in Nerf models, which means V-Spec 2 Nerf can have a Millennium Jade. And the differences between a V-Spec 2 and M-Spec Nerf is M-Spec Nerf is only eligible for import, aside from the Midnight Purple B-Specs, Midnight Purple 2
Right,
B-Specs.
because these are so rare, they pretty much qualify for show and display.
Yes.
In the US.
In the US.
Got it.
So this one is still inside our storage because the owner wanted to be in Japan for a little bit more while. I don't know if he's gonna register this car or this particular car or not, because this owner actually has multiple cars in our storage that I cannot disclose you to which car is which. But yes, some of the owners who have in this storage has multiple cars in here as well. So it's not just one car is for one single owner. Some people own multiple cars inside the storage.
If you have a moment, let's check out some of the outside inventory, if that's cool with you.
Sure, let's go.
All right, so this is some of the outside inventory.
Yes.
that you guys have here?
Yes. Well, this car is already sold. But we're doing some maintenance to that car.
So a lot of these cars are ones that you're just getting in, you haven't gone through yet,
Yep.
or ones that are in actually for sale inventory.
Yes. We have some right here. For instance, this one. This is a very nice silver R34 GTR V-Spec.
Yep.
We just bought this car again, same as like the M-Spec. It was in the storage. We got this car straight for the owner, previous owner, and it's a very good shape. I'm not gonna lie, I know the price. If I had like big money, I really want to.
How
get
much
this.
is this for sale for?
We still haven't decided the prices yet.
Okay.
We cannot disclose the price unless my boss says yes.
How many miles is on
I
this?
think it only has about 100 and less than 110,000 thousand kilometers. So about like 70, less than 50,000 miles to be exact.
Well, I kind of feel like then this is not even that expensive compared to some of the other ones you have in your inventory. Like, I recently saw you guys have a Bayside Blue that has 17,000 kilometers on it.
Yes.
And I think that one is listed right now for 270 if it hasn't been sold yet. 270,000 US.
I bet, yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
So I saw that on the website, but I haven't seen if it was sold or anything.
I
Which
think we still
that
have it.
if that gives you an indication of how much these things cost, like the thing is, that's R34s, right? You look at the S15s, they're still in a good price range, 30, 35. The best ones maybe 40,000. I think Evo 5s, like good condition ones, are like 50, 55,000. And then R33s are a really good price still too, about 65, 70, 75,000.
Yes.
For a really good one.
Yes.
You know, and I don't even know where R32s are. I haven't really looked recently, but it's probably around the same as R33s.
Yes. So we just got this red S15 right here. We got this car from auction, but we are likely gonna you know, put that on the website soon because it's a very good car. Yeah, this car is, I don't have a lot of information yet just because we got this car during I was helping you guys out.
Yeah, okay.
So like don't have exact information, but when I looked at the pictures, it looked to be in a very good condition. The owner kept really well, and it's actually a very rare active red.
Ooh.
S15, yes, original.
Eventually I'm gonna get an S15. If I get one right now, I think my wife would kill me, but eventually. Save an S15 for me, please. All right, so what else? What else do we have? Just a couple more minutes. I'm actually flying out right now. This is my last day. I'm very sad I'm leaving Japan, but I'm lucky and I'm happy to be able to kind of check these out. Oh wait, this is a 4-door GTR. This is an Autech.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is really special. I've only seen this one for the first time
right?
at Zama Museum. No way, you guys have one of these.
Yes.
This is so cool. I just posted about it. Let's see. I'm gonna look at my Instagram, and I'm gonna look to see how many they made, because I literally just posted about it because I was so surprised. Okay, here we go. Zama collection. Let's see. 416 were built.
Yes.
416.
And we have one of them.
Ah, it's locked.
Yeah,
Dude.
We have
This-
actually we sold one to USA personnel, and this one we just got it recently.
Yo, this is cool. So, for those of you guys who don't know, GTRs first came in 4 doors.
Yes, the Hakosuka were first originally a 4-door Skyline GTR.
4-door Skyline before the famous Hako GTR. It was 4-door, but now this one is actually a special one. It's an Autech version.
Yes.
416 only made.
Yes.
Look at this. Oh, they actually debadged it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the Autech version badges
right
on here. Yeah.
Nor the GTR badge.
Yeah. So, okay, interesting. But this is so cool that it's 4-door and it has all the R33 goodness.
Owner still kept the emblems right there.
Yo.
And again,
How funny is that I just pointed that out, and then the owner just took it off for safekeeping. This, you want to talk about sleeper, man? This is a sleeper.
It is. Actually, some of these cars were used in a Japanese police department for a undercover cop cars and stuff. Also, let's talk about a fun fact about the Autech versions. So Autech version only came in 98. They only made in 417 units. The interesting part is when you look at the front, the Kokis have a really big front lip, but this has a Koki Series 3 lip. But it originally came with the very thin, the Series 1 and 2 lip. Also, the headlights are the Series 3 headlights, which is everyone came with it. But the interior is a very unique. The surrounding of that, you know, that
little hole.
The little hole over there for like your seatbelt, technically. Yeah. The Series 3 were all red. But this one, it has a Series 1 and 2 interior, and that big hump over there.
Yo,
actually, that's the definition of an Autech version, because Autech version only came with the 4-seater car. But the original 33 GTR GTST sedans, they came with 5 seats.
That is the craziest bolster I've ever seen. Look how big that bolster is.
Yes, so you only can fit 4 people.
So cool.
Because it's GTR.
Yeah, GTR.
And obviously, this car, like, people think it was based out of the GTSD, and they put the GTR engine and the GTR tranny, like everything inside drivetrain from the GTR. It's actually opposite. So what the Nissan did was essentially they just extended the wheelbase, putting a used out of the 33 GTR chassis, but they extended the wheelbase and they put the rear seats on. So actually, technically speaking, Garage Yoshida restored one of these cars from the ground up. It was a very rusted out car. They told what they saw in the magazine were actually they have to use some floor parts from 33 GTSD 4-door with some floor parts of the GTR, and they have to mash it together in order to be restored the floors for this car. So it's basically, people think it's just a GTS ECR 33 chassis with the GTR drivetrain. It's actually completely opposite. It's a bespoke, almost bespoke chassis underneath.
I couldn't imagine how much this is worth. I love that it has stock wheels and it's all sunken in. But you know, my favorite part about this is it doesn't look like a GTR because it doesn't have the GTR taillights. No. It has
the 4-door taillights.
The 4-door taillights, which honestly, I hate the way it looks. But honestly, I think it would look interesting if you change the taillights and then if you actually put the R33 GTR spoiler on the back. But then again, it's not the Autech version, it's not original, and it won't be worth as much.
Yeah. This car, again, we sourced straight from a previous owner. And this car will be listed for sale relatively soon. And I know the figures, but I don't want to disclose yet because it's my bosses will decide which number it will be. But it might be a 6-figure car, might be a little bit less. But still, this car is a very clean condition car, and it will likely to be one of those quote-unquote expensive GTRs.
Shoot, I would daily drive this, man, because from the front, look at it. If you look at this scene right here, it looks just like a normal one, right? It looks great. Also, this is kind of interesting how this is angled out. I never noticed that. But anyways, yeah, that's something I would drive daily. So you guys have some older vehicles too? Yeah. Like, what is this? A Sarah?
It is a Sarah.
It looks so funny.
It is a very cool car. It's a very unique car.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the McLaren F1's doors, I think, were
originally came from like
basically based off of this design. Yeah. So Toyota Sarah, super cool. See, another car that is relatively cheap if you want to get into a JDM car, right-hand drive car. I think this is something that you can already import to the US.
Yes, it's a 92 model year car, so you can import it right now. And one fun fact about this Sarah is actually a 5-speed manual.
Oh, I've only seen the automatics.
Yes, it's a real genuine 5-speed manual. So what you can do is basically, you know, EP82 Starlet? The underpinnings of this car is basically EP82 Starlet. So EP82 Starlet came with a turbocharged 1.3 or 1.4 liter motor that can make about 130 horsepower, but you can tune it to close to 200. some in there, 6-speed manual. You have an ultimate flexible flex car.
Yeah, that's
When-
super cool.
You know, McLaren doors.
Yeah.
Are dirt cheap.
I
You
love
cannot-
that.
You know, a lot of us, including myself, cannot afford a McLaren F1. But for this car, you can have a similar experience. And if you go to Ratwood in this car,
Yeah,
people will love it for sure.
amazing. I love that. You got a old 2+2 Fairlady Z here. So
Yep.
you guys do a lot of classic cars too. I saw that there was a GTR that was kind of going through some mid-restoration stuff inside.
Yes.
It was probably what, like a 1969 or 70s?
I think it was about 1970 Hakosuka GTR. Real one, genuine.
Got it.
Yep. And this is a S130 Nissan Z 2x2.
These were not super loved by the enthusiasts in Japan, but this is pretty cool.
Yep.
I like it. I like the wheels. Albino? Is that what it is? Albino wheels? Why does it albino? Why does it look like Alpina? Alpine. Well, anyways. Anyways, this is pretty cool. We actually have to fly out. But I just wanted to thank Yaska, I wanted to thank Masa, of course, for helping us out this trip. This has been really a trip of a lifetime for me. In Japan for 21 days, we just got so much shooting done. We shot a lot for our Haggerty show, which I'm really looking forward to season 2. We got a lot of good things. Yeah,
I can't wait for that too.
Yeah, this is it's something that I'm gonna do a lot more of because I do have a car in Japan. I can come fly in and just drive to shops and whatever. I used to have to rely on other people like my friend Dino and others and public transportation to do that, but not anymore. You know, I got my own car here, so I'm really excited. Thanks to these guys. And if you guys want a JDM car, hit them up. Hit them up. They won't do you wrong. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.